YouTube channel. But I'm really, really excited. So there's a couple of really cool things that maybe you guys can bring back to your team. So the first one is that you guys wanted to know about that I found out there's some new updates is Zoom polls. So there's two ways to do polls. The first one is to go into so first, one thing that's really important is I wanted to show everybody to go to your settings, and then you need to scroll down to in meeting basic and then turn on where's the polls? Down here. So make sure Zoom meeting and polls are on. And then there's a really great feature where you can create polls and quizzes, and alternative hosts can create them in your Zoom. So let's say you're teaching a lesson and you're like, oh, like, Jacob, go ahead and make a poll really quick, make a quiz really quick and give it to the kids. And so you can have alternative hosts and you can make it in Zoom. But
and he would say, yeah, I'm right on that.
He'll be like, I'm on it. We're the best team.
Yes, we're so in sync.
Yes. Whatever the scenario may be. So then one way to do it is to go into your meetings. So like, here's my mini class Zoom. I'll click on it. And at the very bottom is polls/quizzes. So let's say I want to, I don't know, there's a couple of uses I can think of for pre-creating it. You could have like questions for your peak standards ready to go. You could just have your polls and quizzes. So if you create, there's a poll, and it'll just be choice 1, choice 2. You can add choices, single choice, multiple choice. So I'll name this, do you like learning? I don't know, because I'll show you what it looks like for the students. And no, yes, I don't know. And then you can trash it, you can move them, and then you can click save. And so that's a poll, and it's not launched yet. You can edit it whenever you want. You can also create a quiz or an advanced poll, and you can add different question types. So you can do rank order, matching, long answer, short answer, fill in the blank, which I think is really, really great. So short answer, I'll show you. You could be like, oops, sorry. I think I'm going to just delete this question. Short answer, what did you learn today? And you can make it required, like they have to finish it. So click save, those are done. And I should have named them. So the poll should be named like practice 1 and practice 2. So we'll save that, and those are saved. So now if I'm in my Zoom right now, I can go down to polls and quizzes, and those two pop up in a little drop down menu. And so I'll send you guys practice 1. So there's a little button that says launch, and it looks a lot like the breakout room. So what do you guys see when it pops up?
Practice 1, do you like learning? Yes, no.
Yeah, so go ahead and click it. And then I can see the percentage. Deborah clicked no. And that's sassy, but I will accept it. Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm just like dying over that. Okay, so then yeah, so you and can you guys see anything else, or what comes up after you guys do it?
It disappeared after I did it.
Oh, it just disappeared, like it went away. Awesome. That's great. So then I'll click end poll, and then I could click share results. And you guys would be like, oh, wow. But you don't have to, especially if it's a quiz. There's also 3 dots next to it that say download results or view results, or you could relaunch it and be like, all right, you guys didn't do your best. Let's try it again. So I think there's
stop being sassy and be honest.
Stop being sassy, because Deborah loves learning. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Yeah, so I think there's so many uses. And then the same thing, you click the polls and quizzes down at the bottom, you can create. So there's a little button down that says create, and it will take me to this same page that I just showed you when I shared my screen while the Zoom is live. And so, like I said, if you want to just really quickly, like, hey, they're working on breakout rooms, I want to make a quiz really quick, I want to make a question really quick, you can just make it and it will automatically go into your Zoom,
So
which I
where
think is
do
really great.
you get that inside the Zoom again?
So down at the bottom, I don't know if you guys will see it because you're not a co-host, but maybe let's make you a co-host so you can see it. Make you a co-host. Okay, so at the bottom, do you see a button that says polls and quizzes?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you click on that, you can kind of see the features that I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see that I made practice 1, practice 2, and where to launch it and where to create.
So we don't have a create. We just
Mm.
see the poll and quiz that we just did.
Maybe I have to make you alternative hosts in Zoom. But either way, it'll just, there's down right on right across from launch, it'll show create and then it'll take you.
So what's the difference between alternative host and co-host?
I think co-host is just like not permanent. So co-host is like, I just make it for you this time, but alternative host is I've gone into Zoom and made you that host like no matter when. So
Okay.
yeah, so if you create that, if you click create, it'll take you to just this exact same thing. So yeah, I just think it's really awesome. And like, so then you'll scroll down and you'll see practice, and then you can look right here and view the poll results. So there's just data right there, and I just think that's so great. And so one thing you could do also is make sure that they have their, you can say type your name and then do this so that you can see. The poll is just very simple, but advanced poll, I would say do your name and then do whatever so you can get that data. But yeah, do you guys have any questions about polls or anything? I think that could be really useful for data. So yeah, well, I'll just let you guys soak that in. Just soak it in.
So
Love
do the
it.
students have to do it, or can they just dismiss it and not even pay attention to it?
So with the polls, they can dismiss it, but with advanced polls, you can make it, you can require it, like it won't go away. So I think that there's another good benefit with that as well. Great question. So then there's another feature that I know that Deborah has messed with a little bit, but it's called Whiteboard. So if you scroll into your Zoom, let me share my screen again really quick, sorry. So if you go to zoom.us, kind of the same thing, you need to go to settings just to make sure that everything is exactly where you want it. So if you scroll over to Whiteboard, you just want to make sure that you have allow exports, that you have, you can just look at your settings right there. But it's its own separate little feature. So it's really cool. It has that we have tons of templates that you
I
can use.
know, I just saw that.
And it's so cool. So you have all these templates that you can look for. They have specific education ones, like they have music sheets, they have like a know, wonder, and learn. They could, you know, this could be really great for a virtual meeting with your team. They have strategies, planning, all sorts of stuff. But let's say we wanted to do like a know, wonder, and learn. You would click use this template. And I would use this in my science for like, you know, September 30th or whatever, 30th. And then it kind of has the same features as a Jamboard. So you would use text boxes, you could write, like it could be like rocks or whatever. And you have post-it notes, you have shapes, you can upload images, There's tons of like tables, mind maps that you could do with your kids. The one and the really cool feature that I wish all of our kids had on their Chromebooks, and I'm working on seeing if this is a possibility, if we could update or something like that. But once you have decided that you've made it, it's saved. So then you'll go back to whiteboards. And this is your whiteboard right here. It's saved in your stuff. So then when you go back into your Zoom, at the very bottom, you click whiteboards. And I will open up my science and you guys can see it. And kids who are on Chromebooks, what I was saying is kids who are on Chromebooks, they can't access it, but you guys can. So I'm going to share it. I'm sharing it with you guys right now. And so you guys can write on it. So are you guys able to do that right now? Yes. Cool. So kids who are on a device other than a Chromebook can collaborate with you. But this is a really great tool that you could do as a whole class. And you can, have two teachers working on it at the same time. You can have like maybe a recorder in each breakout room. You could strategically use it that way. But there's some just really great things and ideas you could use. And you could preload any of the things that you want. But if you didn't have time to think about it ahead of time, which is 90% of the time, you can just click whiteboards at the bottom and just click new whiteboard. And it will just pop up as a blank whiteboard. So if I'm doing a math problem, I can just do 2 + 3. One thing you want to make sure is the share settings, that you want to make sure that people are only viewers. So right now you guys are only viewers. So you want to make sure the kids are only viewers and they can look at it. But if you want to have a kid write on it, you can, but if they have access to something else other than a Chromebook. But if you want a Chromebook user to use it, there's a button that says copy link, and you can send that to them in the chat, and it will take them to zoom.us and they can write on it from there. Does that make sense?
Say that again.
So Chromebook users cannot write on the whiteboard within Zoom. So if you wanted them to contribute to the class whiteboard, what you could do is when you go up to the top, you click share. And I don't know if you guys probably can't see it.
I can see the share button.
Yeah. So if you click share, because I think I made you co-host, so maybe you can, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a little button that says copy link at the bottom. And you can copy that link, and I'll send it to you guys right now.
Oh,
It will
it doesn't let
send
me
them.
copy the link.
Oh, okay. Well, I just sent you the link. It'll send them to zoom.us, the website, where they can write on the website.
Ah.
So all of the kids can access the whiteboard, but only some can do it right in Zoom, and some will have to go to the outside website.
Okay, so it says permission is needed to view this whiteboard.
Here, so I made you an editor again.
And then, so you have to make all of the students an editor, like.
So for example, if you were doing that No Wonder Learn, you can have them like, hey, everybody write on a Post-it, it's a lot like a Jamboard this way, but
okay, so even after you said you changed it, I still couldn't. It still said access denied. Yeah.
Well, that's just
Linda,
silly.
are you able to get in?
Silly.
It says permission is needed to view this whiteboard.
Ooh. Wow. Anyways, I'll look at those permissions, but I think, let's see. This is good that we're testing it out. share, and then there's those 3 dots. You can also, yeah, so I made you guys the editor in here. Maybe it takes a second to update or something like that. But anyways, there's also 3 dots at the top where you can export your board. So if you were like had a great discussion and the kids helped you draw things or whatever, you can export your whiteboard as a PDF and have that as like a slide or whatever. So I just thought that that was a good tool at the very least to have a whiteboard that has different features than just a plain whiteboard that you can share right within Zoom. And then at the very least, a few kids can get on and collaborate with you. Yeah, so those are the 2. And then everybody, didn't you guys have any questions about whiteboard or any other things? I think it'll take some time to explore. I know that was a really basic overview, but
so one of the things that I wanted to share is that if you want to have an image in your whiteboard,
ooh,
I found out that if I had an image that I wanted to use,
yeah,
and so but I couldn't add the image to
oh
the
yeah,
whiteboard inside my Zoom meeting. But when you log into Zoom, the
you have to
Zoom
preload it.
US, then you can add the image. You have all of the tools inside there. So if you click a new Zoom, then it has all of the tools on the side, including the add the image tool. And you could actually like link different ideas to each other, like a web kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Where you can't do that inside the whiteboard in a Zoom meeting.
oh,
But
okay.
if you do it here, then when you open it up in the Zoom meeting, then what you created here, you'll still be able to see.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Okay. So yeah, like you can't, and then there's like the more tools over here in the Zoom meeting. You can't add a table or anything like that. You have to do it ahead of time. And like mind map or whatever, horizontal mind map, you would have to do that beforehand. That's interesting. That's a good insight. Thanks, Sabra. Yeah, I think it's a new feature that definitely is going to be interesting, and I think it can be really useful. So yeah. And then what kind of started this was that everybody wanted to learn about Zoom apps, but what I have learned is that it's disabled for everybody. Which is funny because they disabled Zoom polls last year, and then now it's enabled, and then now apps is disabled. So I have contacted UEN and I'm working with them because I think there's some benefits to having Zoom apps enabled. Like if I want to do a Kahoot with my kids within Zoom, there shouldn't be a problem with that. So I'm working on that. But yeah, that's polls and whiteboard and Zoom.
Oh,
Yay.
yay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for coming and supporting me.
You're so
I
awesome.
really appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you so much. I have left something super cute and special for you in your boxes for coming. So
You did?
well, I have them on my desk right now, but I'm gonna
but
put them
you
in your
will.
box.
Oh, thank you.
Look forward
Okay.
to tomorrow.
Okay, well, have a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, yeah.
Okay,
See ya.
bye.